Hi, my name is Keith. I'm one of the pastors here at Pine Valley Community Church. Missions is a huge part of what we do here at Pine Valley Community Church, and we just spent the entire summer going on mission trips. But we want you to know our mission trips aren't just something we do. It is a part of how we fulfill the Lord's desire for His church to bring the gospel to the ends of the earth through meaningful, long-lasting partnerships with our brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ around the world.
In 2008, Pine Valley Community Church received a mission team from Seattle, Washington that consisted of high school students and youth leaders, and they called those trips Mission Ventures, and they stayed a week here. They did these outreach nights, they did a VBS type study, they did some outreach training for us, and it just really proved to be a game changer for our new-ish and growing youth group, and it was just such an awesome week. And in 2010, we decided we wanted to start doing these kind of trips for ourselves. And so these trips that we've done since 2010 have been modeled after what was done for us and replicated. I was doing the math the other day, and we started doing intergenerational mission ventures at Pine Valley Community Church in about 2016. And so since 2010, we've actually done 26 missions trips as a church here at Pine Valley Community Church.
One way that I feel like we were able to really impact that community is by partnering and doing this evangelism class, and we talked about life backwards, which we talk about in PVCC pretty often, and we were able to share that lesson with the local church community there. And throughout that week, we kind of just started hearing more stories about people that were applying those lessons, and it's really cool. In the middle of it, someone was just like, oh, I talked to someone the other day and was able to share my testimony or share the gospel. And
so I can't think of just a better opportunity for anybody to get involved in missions work. But in a lot of ways, we go to these places that are able to further that mission, further that vision for the years to come. People have asked us to come back and train them even more so that they can do a sports camp in the future, or so that they can continue to reach out to their youth.
My name is Johanna, this is my husband Robert, and our daughter McKenna. We were challenged to go on the missions trip just to step out and work with the church. We're one of the newer families at the church, so we just thought it was a great way to get to know people. So you're not really sure how God's going to use you going on the trip, but it's just being open and willing to do anything, to playing bubbles with the younger ones, or just helping with serving food at the barf nights. So it was cool to see, God work through you, just being willing and open to just serving Him.
So we do what we call trampoline talks, which is kind of when we have our nightly debriefs. And I had gone on a few trips before that, and it was really fun, and I loved meeting everyone. But the year of 2024 is when I kind of realized the depth of the relationships we had created, and there was an expectation that we were going to come back and that we were going to keep in touch over the year, and that even when we did come back after not seeing each other all year, it was like we had just left. And it just made me realize just how much more intentional the relationships were going to be and why we were going.
What I got out of it and what I saw God doing there, as well as Lincoln City. Lincoln City is a whole nother story, but see God working in the people and our group. The kids, when we would show up for barf nights, would run to our kids and dive into their arms with love, and that continues today. It's unbelievable.
Building of relationships over the years have really grown in incredible ways, and I think that us coming back and just continuing to show that love has just really grown our relationships and just kind of shown them that how much we care about them. And it's cool to see the change that has happened in their hearts.
When you are living your life to bless others, you discover the Lord working in your own life. You discover things about yourself that you may have even not realized that you had, gifts and talents. And when you see your kids living into that and being blessed, it's very powerful.
It was a great experience for me and my family. It was fun to watch Johanna interact with these former FLDS ladies that are no longer in there, and they have a lot of stories to tell, and it was nice to watch Johanna just sit there and listen, and it was a great family adventure.
It's been really fun to watch what we were trained up in, what we grew up in spiritually, and really just looked and thought, that's from the Lord. That really is a ministry of the Lord, to watch a church that engages not just its own community, which is so important, but has such a missional mindset to go out and rescue other communities. And when we left 9 years ago and came to Lincoln City, we really were trying to engage our church in a missional culture. And some of the things we really learned were the word intentional, that we really picked up from Pine Valley, being intentional and being mission-minded.
I started in PVCC in 3rd grade, and I was in it until my senior year of high school. And throughout that time, I believe that the leadership and training I got equipped me not only for missions, but also equipped me for a life of ministry. Over the years, my jobs became my mission fields, and I actually found it surprisingly easy to step into a life of ministry when God called my husband and I to start a youth group here at Calvary Chapel, Lincoln City. Stepping out in faith only made my faith increase all the more.
My favorite verse is Hebrews 10:23 through 25, and it says to stir up each other to good works, and in the Greek it actually means to incite each other, like to provoke each other. I thought, we've been provoking people to good works. And then we came up here, and suddenly this opportunity opened up 2 years ago. Jasmine and Clyde brought up and started praying, wouldn't it be great to have Pine Valley come and bring what they've been doing here now that the Lord's primed the pump?
Going on missions trips throughout my time in high school with Pine Valley was really influential for me in my life, because I got to see so frequently on those trips God moving and working within the lives of our team and also within the lives of the people that we were serving. I know that Pine Valley is a church that prays, that they're a church that really does care about the missionaries that they support. It feels really nice to know that the church that I came from is a church that prays for us and is kind to us and supports us. And so I know, coming from Pine Valley, that Pine Valley is always in support of us and always encouraging to us.
My hope is that really our church will learn and grow from the excitement of others who are further ahead and more mature than us in ministries, and some of the infancy of ministries starting in our church will really start to take off, and people say, hey, this is effective, this works.
I had some interactions with a young girl the week before the missions team came up, and she basically asked me, what must I do to be saved? And so I started asking her some personal questions, and we started getting into it. But then right as I was about to share the gospel, we got interrupted. I didn't get to see her until the missions week. And then she basically got Gospel 101 for the entire week. She showed up every morning and every night to everything. And we've seen her every week since at church.
The church should definitely be on mission with the Lord, especially when you're truly investing in a community and truly working together, because it helps us to become who the Lord wants us to be.
As a person that went on missions trips with Pine Valley when I was in high school, I would encourage anyone who is thinking about going on a missions trip but is unsure to go, because it's a great way to connect with the people that you see at church every Sunday. It's a great way to make connections with the people that are Christians alongside you, and it's an amazing opportunity to do really important work with people that love Jesus.
So it's definitely changed me as a Christian, just to see how God can work in these people's lives and just change such bad things into good things, and just seeing the fruit and the answered prayers.
And being able to see the fruits of that and seeing people share stories about how they actually have been able to witness to others in the community has been just amazing.
It's really cool to see that these people that were once strangers to us have now become like family.
Seeing all of a sudden love in a place that was full of darkness for so much time before, and knowing the story and the history of the area, to see God's hand working it touched my heart so completely that I will continue to go back as long as we go.
Just having all these different churches from all these different backgrounds come together as one body of Christ to serve this community, to further the gospel, to fulfill the Great Commission through all the different activities and relationships that we build. It's a beautiful picture of the entire body of Christ working together.
My hope and prayer for the coming years is that the people that we have cultivated deep relationships with, that those relationships turn into something where we can disciple them.
When we're raising our families, it's really easy to be living inside the box. Who instituted this way of life where we wind up living in a rut and we don't really get to experience our kids? We barely experience life. Life is so glorious and so wide open and so free when we're investing in others. And that's really what the freedom of the Lord is trying to give us, is to get outside of ourselves and to engage others and care about others. And I think it does a really powerful work in the family, because it's maybe one of the first times that your kids get to see you really come out of yourself and engaging others more than just at church. And when you're working alongside one another, we're all tested.
Reaching our community in this way really proved to me that the testimony of Jesus and a heart of service crosses all cultural barriers.
I think the number one thing that anybody that wants to join a mission trip needs to know is that you're going to make an impact. You touch someone's life in ways you might not realize this side of eternity. And I think anyone at Pine Valley Community Church that wants to join a mission venture, just that one thing, you don't have any idea how many lives you're going to touch and what they will do. And one day you'll stand before the Lord and you say, look what you did in the act of obedience. Look at all the people that were touched. I think that's exciting.
And if you want to really feel and see God's work, go on one of these mission trips.
Can you imagine with me 10 years from now, as we've continued to partner with our brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ in these places year after year? We've seen the fruit of what's happened already. We have gone and served on the mission field with people raised up by our very own church. Imagine 10, 15, 20, 50 years from now what the fruit of these relationships are going to be, the good work the Lord is going to do through them. Imagine what the Lord is going to do for His kingdom as we live out His faithful love and partner together to bring the good news of Jesus Christ to all of these communities.